All right. Hello, everyone. This is Miss Smith. I'm just here to offer some tips for managing your schedule at home. Basically, um, we know that our school is a lot of work, and we've reached the point in the school year where most of us we're starting to get everything down and we're starting to get a little overwhelmed as well. So I just wanted to share some tips for me that have worked as a teacher since you're taking on a lot of the responsibility of being a teacher at home as a learning coach. And then the other kindergarten teachers have kind of chimed in and helped me plan this as well. So, one thing that I really suggest is to keep a weekly planner, just like you did when you were in school. And that can help you keep track of things and prioritize what needs to be done and kind of check off that list as you go down for each day and each week and basically help keep you on track. Also, I encourage you to check your Kmail often and respond to it and handle it as soon as you can. My policy for Kmail and email that has really helped to me is I check it once. So if I don't really have the time to sit down and respond or handle a situation, I try not to open it at all. Of course, exceptions come up and I make a note of it and try to get to those later. But that really helps me from feeling like everything's piling up on my shoulders, that I've got this backlog of things I need to take care of. So I really do think that's the biggest thing that's helped me as a teacher. So hopefully it'll help you as learning coaches as well. The biggest key to success at Hoosier Academy, I would say, is to create a routine, create a schedule, and stick to it at home. Maybe cell phones go off, entertainment goes off, and we start school every day at 8, and then we complete a couple lessons, we take a break, and then we do that. I mean, we understand that flexibility is a lot of what has driven you to come to our school. But whenever it is possible, that routine is very key to success for students of all ages. It's a very important safety key for a lot of students as well. Communicate with your teacher often and do it before you reach frustrational level. We will do what we can to answer questions or get you to the right place that you can answer a question. And it's certainly better for everyone involved if you go ahead and ask us a question. In the beginning, you're wondering about this, you've looked back through old Kmail, you've checked the class web page, you've done what you can to solve it on your own. Go ahead and email us or Kmail us right away instead of, waiting until it becomes a problem and everyone's kind of upset. We're here to help you. That is our job, so we're happy to do so. This is supposed to say give materials and be prepared. Wow, that's a big misspelling. Forgive me for that. Get materials and be prepared for the day ahead of time. Um, just like as a teacher, we have to do our prep before it's time for learning. A lot of downtime causes students to learn interest. That causes a lot of panic because lesson's supposed to be finished today and we don't have what we need. So try to look at those ahead of time if you want to, whatever works in your routine the night before, the Sunday before, but certainly, come prepared. And this is the biggest piece. I like to call this the Hoosier Buffet. Our school, because you are all individual families, individual students, individual needs, we have a huge variety and spectrum of students that we're serving. And we want to make sure that we are doing what is needed for each student to be successful. So I like to tell families that we offer a buffet. We offer hopefully everything you can need to provide a quality education for your student. But just like when you go to the buffet, you can't get everything. That's impossible. So you need to pick and choose what works best for you, your student, and your family, and create that daily plan, that routine, certainly is not the best use of time, then talk to your teacher about it and create a plan. Please don't just decide, like, I'm not doing this on my own because we'd like to have your input. That's why we're here. And there are some things that really are important to adjust to. And But that's definitely something where you can create that individual routine. So, say your student is a lot better with math face to face with you with manipulatives, and sitting at the computer makes her overwhelmed. Well, then that would be a case to talk to your classroom teacher, and maybe you don't come to math, but you come to reading instead so we get to know your student. So these are all things to consider, but we know that you cannot attend every collaborate session offered the entire day every, and that's one of those areas where we'd like you to find ones that fit your needs. When you're making important decisions about what's important to your child, refer to the ILP. That's a great guide for decision making. If your child has a lot of math goals, then maybe you want to prioritize math. If your child really struggles with letters and the alphabet, then maybe reading group and reading block are where you need to focus. So, really consider your child's ILP and talk to their classroom teacher to create an individualized plan that fits your child's needs. So, we know that you can't do everything, and we want to help you prioritize what's best for your student. So, as far as study islands, that is something that is required. It has huge correlations with success on standardized tests. It helps us as teachers know that the students understand each standard. Since we don't see them every day in the classroom, it really helps us go in and say, okay, it looks like we're doing well with this. So I know at the end of the year that your child's been exposed to all the standards and is ready for the next grade level. At this point in the school year, your students, I mean, there are exceptions, but they should be able to do Study Island fairly independently. There's a microphone that reads the questions to them. We want to see what they know and what skill level they're at. So, this is something that if you teach them how to do it, they could log on to while you fix lunch or dinner, or when you're working with another student. And, maybe you can look over their shoulder from time to time, but it's not something that has to be entirely parent guided. Another note is just our love hate relationship with technology. Technology is wonderful. I have a very strong love for technology, but when it doesn't work because we depend on it so much, it's very frustrating. So if your computer or your internet is not working at home, the first thing we are going to ask you is, can you find access somewhere else? We are a virtual school, so internet is a requirement. We need to be able to see what you're doing. You need to have access to your lessons. So, if at all possible, we're going to ask you to go to a library or a neighbor or friends or whatever you're comfortable with to have access. In the case of an emergency, you need to contact your teacher, and even if you've made an arrangement with your teacher, you really need to have access by Friday to enter all that information and prove that you've worked through the week. So, if it's just a day, do everything you can offline to keep track of it so you can enter it later. Um, K-mail your teacher, let her know what's going on, call her, and if it is a worst case scenario, you need to find access to enter everything by Friday. You need to contact your teacher, and you still need to continue to work. We understand you can't do everything, but you can modify it. And even some of the lessons, I know that the lit and comp lessons at the bottom say what to do if you don't have internet. So just be really mindful of that and know that this plan is the exception. It cannot be a habit. So this is a really important one, but it's something that comes up rather often. So just so you know, there is a backup plan, but you need to work with your teacher. You cannot take it upon yourself to, okay, my computer's not working, I'll just enter everything by Friday and disappear for a couple weeks. You've got to let your teacher know. Attendance is something that families struggle with. Our school, just like in a traditional school, you're not going to spend the entire time that day working on lessons and workbook pages and assessments. There are going to be a variety of instructional tools into the mix. So, attendance can be counted as anything that is done academic. Anything your child does at home that's academic. So I have a family who every once in a while they go to a museum on Friday and then they'll make up their lessons on Sunday. That time at the museum is certainly academic and that can be counted towards their attendance hours. Pick the subject that fits best. If it's something that it's just multi-subject, you think you could go either way, just pick one. It's not as serious which subject it goes under, it just needs to be marked. So your OLS lessons need to be marked. Your collaborate sessions can be marked under the subject they were under. Time spent on study island does not automatically go towards attendance, so you'll need to mark that under the study island tab. Reading at home, writing in your daily journal, counting to your learning coach, practicing math facts. If your student, reads to you or does math facts while you're making dinner or counts while they're setting the table, all of those are ways that would count towards attendance. Practicing high frequency words, like I said, museum trips, special events if they're academic, anything that is academic that is done at home. This is not cheating to count these things. It's not a disservice to your students. It is the expectation of our school that they have well-rounded learning, and these are all of the ways that could count towards it. So, your daily tasks, just to kind of break down what we expect from you, and so you know what is a priority, is to come to collaborates when you're available, complete assigned lessons on the pacing guide. If you are caught up with the pacing guide, then you are really good to go. If you are wondering, am I behind where you need to be, you're going to be matching up with those lessons on the pacing guide or very close. Log your attendance hours daily, 5 hours per day. Mark your lessons complete. Check K-Mail, and we'd like for you to read for Book It. If you're going to be reading at home anyways, it might as well get you something, a free pizza and certificate for your student in the mail. Weekly tasks are to log on to Study Island and complete assigned lessons, 25 attendance hours, and 3% progress in each subject. Again, if you're following the pacing guide, this is going to put you where you need to be. Monthly, we'd like you to complete all Study Island assignments, keep on track with the pacing guides, one writing prompt, one easy CBM test, and these are assigned by the classroom teachers via K-Mail, and submit your Book It form. So just to keep on mind, daily collaborates, lessons, attendance, mark all of that complete, check your K-Mail, and read. Weekly, log on to Study Island, your attendance hours, 3% progress. And monthly, all your Study Island assignments, make sure you're matched up with the pacing guide, your writing prompt, easy CBM, and Book It. And then, of course, by the end of the year, to show your success, is 900 attendance hours, 90% or higher progress in each subject. Study Island Common Core needs to be completed in math and language arts, and the Science Skills Mastery lessons. I'm pretty sure this comes to be pretty close to all the Skills Mastery lessons, but I'm not sure it's actually all of them. And you need to complete your 3 DIBELS tests. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what you're expected to do each day. So we do offer Brain Pop, we offer Starmatica, and some other programs, and those are just learning tools. We're really, if it's in your child's ILP, it kind of needs to become a priority or something that they do independently throughout the day. But these things on these pages are the core, the basic expectations of children in our program. And always K-Mail your teacher if you're struggling to prioritize. We are here to help you. So if you need further help on topics or general questions, help.k12 has a wealth of information about our OLS, our Collaborate, anything to do with our online school. I have some videos on my YouTube channel, Miss Smith HA. This one will be posted. I have one about how to get your 5-year-old to sit still and study Island. If you think of anything else you'd like a training on, I'm happy to post those. And then KMail your classroom teacher. We are really here to help. Personally, I love all my families, and my job is to be a resource for you. And we have a great team. I know they all feel the same way. So, our biggest goal is to prepare your child for first grade. And since you're working independently, but we're still a public school, we've got to prove that you've done so. So, some of these requirements, they're hard to get in the habit of, and they do require organizations. But I really hope this has helped you maybe see the bigger picture and take away at least something from it that you need. So if you have any other trainings you would like to suggest, feel free to K-mail me. And if you need any additional help, know that your teachers are here and they want to help you. So good luck, and we look forward to the rest of the school year.